suggests that for some reason you're not as good as the guy in front of you. So if you're going to pull off the upset, you're going to have to use everything that night that's there to be used. This is what you're going to see from Rosado. Moving a little bit like we said in the fight plan. He's going to look for angles, try to keep the always coming Angulo a little off balance. And he's going to look for spots. He likes to throw the left hook to the body, Rosado, but he's going to look for spots with that right hand. And again, Angulo will give you chances to hit him with the right hand.
Angulo able to touch him with the right hand. He landed a sharp right hand about a minute in. Now cuts off the ring a bit. Rosado able to go to the left.
You know, Angulo knows Rosado's not going to stand in front of him. He knows not a lot of guys are going to stand in front of him. He knows he's going to use those wheels a little bit. So that's why you're going to see Angulo with that information in his head. You're going to see him going to the body of Rosado. Take some air out of those tires. Make it hard for Rosado to move that way all night long. Slow Rosado down. And maybe even take some of the will away from Rosado. You know, Rosado said before this fight, Joe, I think Angulo's made to order for me. I'm excited about this fight. He walks in, I can box. I think it's a perfect matchup for me. And maybe he's right. But the real testing of that is going to be as this pressure continues to come. Does Rosado still feel that way? Can he handle the pressure?
End of one.
Watch the bouncing right here of the feet. You see him up and down Angulo. We were talking about it. Every time there's separation, there he goes again. Up and down bouncing of Angulo. That's a habit. It's not going away. You're going to see it all night long. The key, does Rosado see it? And does he take advantage?
Round two. Rosado trying to open up with a combination. Now circling on the outside. Alfredo Angulo, his first fight since his first loss at May 30th. Upset, unanimous decision by Kermit Cintrone. He took this fight wanting to get rid of that bad taste, even though he already has a premium TV spot lined up on the undercard of Glenn Johnson, Chad Dawson in November to fight in Hartford, Connecticut on TV. He could have sat back and waited for a TV date in November, but instead, Angulo gets right back in.
That's because he's a fighter and he behaves like a fighter. But right now, Rosado has me convinced. He has me convinced, it's very early, that he was telling the truth when he said that he thought, and that's what counts, the fighter. Not what I think, not what you think, not what the trainer thinks. That Rosado thought that Angulo made, but there he makes a mistake.
Short right hand. And Rosado is complaining that there was a push and it should have been a break. That he was holding him.
That's why if you're going to box somebody dangerous and strong like Angulo, you got to be perfect. You cannot afford to make one mistake.
Oh, and he gets hurt. Again, he's hurt and clipped by a combination, and that was costly. 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here. Give me a glove. Give me a glove.
Well, Joe, we said it early on. We thought Rosado believed that Angulo was made to order for him. But would he still believe that as the pressure continues to come? Is he believing that right now? He might not be believing that right now.
55 seconds to survive this. Big left hand. Can he stand up to it? No, he cannot. This fight is over. Gabriel Rosado is very upset. He knows how things got started here in the second round, but there's no denying how they ended as Alfredo Angulo is back. The first knockdown of this second round, Angulo expected the referee to step in because he felt that there was a clinch. The bottom line is he got decked. And 2 more knockdowns later, and the fight is over.
And again, we said it early on, Rosado believed that Angulo was made to order for him. He was outboxing him the first round, outbouncing him a little bit the beginning of the second round. But the question was that we proposed early on. Would Rosado continue to feel that Angulo was made to order as that pressure came, as those punches came? And again, if you're the boxer, if you're the underdog, if you're not as physical as the other guy, which was the case with Rosado, Joe, the pressure's on you to fight a perfect fight. Not a good fight, but a perfect fight. Angulo could make mistakes tonight, and he had the power to still pull it out. Rosado could not afford to make mistakes, and he made them.
Let's go back and show you the first knockdown, which Rosado was visibly upset over. You can see that he's tied up, but you know what? Angulo just kept on fighting right through it. You got to defend yourself at all times.
Yeah. Well, there's an old saying, protect yourself at all times, and Rosado did not respect that saying.
And then the second knockdown. Left-hand, right-hand combination.
Rosado compiles his problems right there, Joe. Pulling straight back with a guy who's coming straight forward. There's a good body shot. And then upstairs with the left hook, you could see Rosado standing straight and being sent straight down.
Boy, Angulo's got bad intentions. Just watch his body language finishing off this fight.
First of all, he was allowed to get close. And when Angulo's allowed to get close, he does that. He connects.
And Russell Mora waves it off. Alfredo Angulo, after that long knockout streak, came to an end as he was outboxed against Cintrone, even with that late rally. Says he had a virus prior to that fight, wasn't himself. He was himself tonight. Alfredo Angulo. Second round stoppage. 3 knockdowns. He's now 16-1. 13 knockouts in his career. And he will fight on the TV undercard of Glenn Johnson, Chad Dawson's title fight in November. That fight to take place in Hartford, Connecticut. Right hand started the damage. Combination punches would finish it off, as Rosado went down 3 times and then crumbled in the corner. Just what Angulo wanted.